by which I saw hordes of armed men who moving with the cloud marched by land and sailed by sea to America, which country was presently enveloped in the volume of the cloud. And I dimly saw the vast armies devastate the whole country, and pillaged and burned villages, cities, and towns, and I had beheld springing up. As my ears listened to the thundering of cannons, clash of swords, and shouts and cries of the millions in mortal combat, I again heard the mysterious voice saying, Son of the Republic, look and learn. When the voice had ceased, the dark shadowy angel placed his trumpet once more to his mouth and blew a long fearful blast. Instantly a light, as from 1,000 suns, shone down from above me, and pierced and broke into fragments the dark clouds which enveloped America. At the same time I saw the angel on whose foreheads still shone the words Union, and who bore our national flag in one hand, and a sword in the other, descend from heaven. Attended by legions of bright spirits, these immediately joined the inhabitants of America, who I perceived were well nigh overcome, but who immediately, taking courage again, closed up the broken ranks and renewed the battle. Again, amid the fearful noise of conflict, I heard the mysterious voice saying, Son of the Republic, look and learn. As the voice ceased, the shadowy angel for the last time dipped water from the ocean and sprinkled it upon America. Instantly the dark clouds rolled back, together with the armies it had brought, leaving the inhabitants of the land victorious. Then once more I beheld the villages, towns, and cities springing up where they had been before, while the bright angel, planting the sure standard he had brought in the midst of them, cried in a loud voice to the inhabitants, While the stars remain in the heavens, send down dew upon the earth, so long shall the Republic last. And taking from his brow the crown, and which still blazed the word Union, he placed it upon the standard, while all the men kneeling down, said Amen. The scene instantly began to fade and dissolve, and I at last saw nothing but the curling white vapor I had first beheld. This also disappeared. I found myself gazing once more on my mysterious visitor, who in the same mysterious voice that I had heard before said, Son of the Republic, what you have seen is thus interpreted. 3 perils will come upon the Republic. The most fearful is the second, passing which the whole world united shall never be able to prevail against her. Let every child of the Republic learn to live for his God, his land, and Union. Such, my friend, concluded the narrator, was the words I heard from George Washington's own lips, and America will do well to profit by them. Let her remember that in union she has her strength, in disunion her destruction.
In Helaman, chapter 6, there's quite an interesting discussion about somebody called the Gadianton robbers. However, the Gadianton robbers were a peculiar kind of robbers. From near as I can tell, and with my personal experiences in life and things that have happened to me, plus reading the scriptures, we find that these were the kind of brethren who made a lot of covenants with each other that were secret. Secret covenants, so that, for example, let's say that one of them were involved in something very, very wicked, and the other one were the local sheriff. Well, the local sheriff goes around and arrests people and throws them in jail, right? Well, so that the sheriff wouldn't arrest one of his fellow Gadianton robbers that were getting gain through murder and that sort of thing, they had secret signs and symbols between each other so that they would each know each other, but no one else would know. And it came to pass that they did have their signs, yea, their secret signs and their secret words, and this, that they might distinguish a brother who had entered into the covenant that whatsoever wickedness his brother should do, he should not be injured by his brother, nor by those who did belong to his band who had taken this covenant. Now that's Helaman chapter 6, verse 22. Okay. He is a person who tries to get gain through killing. Now these secret covenants existed throughout the land. In Book of Mormon times, Ether chapter 8, we can read about all kinds of these secret combinations. In verse 19, for the Lord worketh not in secret combinations, neither doth he will that man should shed blood, but in all things hath forbidden it from the beginning of man. Moroni says, I do not write the manner of their oaths and combinations, for it hath been made known unto me that they are had among all people, and they are had among the Lamanites. Now, if they're had among all people, these covenants, these bands, this awful wickedness of kidnapping and mutilating and that sort of thing in order to get gain.
The first one is by Ezra Taft Benson. And I got a couple by him, but I'll write down an enemy has done this. Okay. The red carpet was mentioned. Now, let me just read something on page 175 here, as Taft Benson warned against the United Nations. Now, you got to keep in mind this book was published in 1969 before George Bush and it don't matter. Truth is truth, no matter how old it is. Yeah, well, see, I think everybody would agree that the New World Order is actually, its earlier name was communism. Oh, definitely. So, they were, I mean, the early church leaders have been, if everybody checks out the ultimate LDS library on CD-ROM, and if you go into that, you can just type in communism, and you'll have a whole list of conference talks that date back into the 50s, and there's earlier ones that were, you get like different ones like J. Reuben Clark warning against communism, against those who seek to destroy the Constitution. And a quick citation from 175, warning against the United Nations. He says this, quote, this is merely part of the overall plan to resolve our conflict with communism, not by victory over it, but by merging with it into a world body. Since it will have superior military force, it is at its disposal, it will become, by definition, and this is the part everybody should take note of, a one-world government. Right. Now, that's certainly what we've been hearing these... well, see, if you did a tape, not only with President Benson, and I imagine there might have been other church leaders that might have talked about either communism or the New World Order. Right. They have a tape with it. It includes everything, anything and everything you can find. The Naked Capitalist is by LDS author, FBI agent Cleon Skousen. Oh, yeah, he's a good author. Now, this book here, The Naked Communist by Cleon Skousen, was mentioned in conference by the prophet David O. McKay. He says, I wish everybody would read that excellent book. Another book that was mentioned in conference for people to read, this, Ezra Taft Benson says that everybody ought to read Prophets, Principles, and National Survival.